Hey, everyone, and thank you for the Community Connection live broadcast with myself and Richard Frankage. We talk about all the good things that occurred the past 7 days in your wonderful community of Mount Juliet and all the good work that your police officers have been doing. And I say all good things, but of course, there's been crime that's happened, right? That's why we're here to keep our community safe. And Rich will go into that on his weekly update. But I'm glad to have you back, Rich. You were at the fair all last week and part of the week before. We missed you around here. You've been back this week. I'm already tired of you, but I'm glad to have you on the live broadcast.
Thanks, Cap. Good to be back. Missed everybody. It's been a good week. A busy week playing catch up, but it's been a good week.
Yeah, I found it interesting that you had these little fried bacon things that were what were they called? Like bacon rinds, right?
Bacon rinds.
Not like a typical pork rind, but a bacon rind.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not really bacon. We discovered that it's some type of wafer thing that is fried in bacon grease that tastes like bacon. Pretty good. Another treat, from the Wilson County Fair. They have all types of weird foods such as fried peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that you got to enjoy.
Yeah, it was a good time. We had a lot of good experiences this year. Very minimal problems this year. Unfortunately, had some heat-related issues that we dealt with. Kept us kind of busy. And the rain wasn't terrible. Had a little bit of rain a couple of days, but overall it was pretty good. It was a good event this year.
Awesome. Let's give a shout out to some of our people that have chimed in on the comments. Dawn just saying good afternoon. And Danny chiming in. Good afternoon. Thanks for all we do. He truly appreciates all of MJPD. Mickey chiming in with a good afternoon. And I like this one here from Mr. Tidwell. He's brand new to Mount Juliet and very impressed by the support and love for the police department and very refreshing. So welcome to Mount Juliet. You will love it here. We have a wonderful community. Don't read all the different negative stuff on social media that you see. It's really just people venting, and sometimes people are just apt to post the bad stuff and never all the good stuff. But there is probably 99% more good stuff that occurs in this wonderful city than bad. That's why we have so many people wanting to move in. They figured out our secret, Rich.
They have indeed.
They really have. But Mount Juliet's great. You'll love it here. Glad you're here. Cool. Rich, I guess you want to get into the weekly update.
Yeah, let's do it, man. This week we're covering the week of August the 19th through August the 25th. And getting right into our numbers, we had 741 police calls for service, 79 fire calls for service, 17 crime reports, 38 arrest charges, 227 traffic stops, 128 citations, 32 non-injury crashes, and 10 injury crashes. Those crash numbers are creeping up.
Yeah, we had some crazy incidents with crashes this week, and even continuing from last week, right? And there's a lot of single vehicle injury crashes, and we really need folks to really go the speed limit and not drive distracted. That's the number one thing we see is there's distracted driving involved and high speeds involved, and it's leading to all of these crashes and injury crashes. And it's just so dangerous to do when you're out there. And yesterday afternoon, there was a brief rain shower over I-40 over the 226 mile marker area. And there were 4 crashes in the matter of 10 minutes. And 8 cars were involved. One of those crashes was an injury crash, and they were rear end crashes. So people aren't paying attention when you have rear end crashes occurring. That's the majority of what the crashes that are listed here. They're all rear end. The motorist doesn't see the vehicle stop or the hazard in front of them, and they just hit it without no warning. So please pay attention when you're driving out there.
Yeah, all the distractions it's a bad thing, but with all that water too, doesn't help for sure.
Nah, you got to slow down.
And then getting into our crime reports, we had 8 family disturbances, 4 theft reports, 2 property damage, forgery, a fraud, and a trespassing. And then on the arrest charges this week, 7 each at shoplifting and driving on suspended or revoked DL, 4 arrest warrants, 3 each of public intox and simple possession of drugs, 2 each in no DL and 2 DUIs, and then 1 each for move over law, unruly juvenile, vandalism, simple assault, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of tools to interfere with anti-theft devices, that's a mouthful, and resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, and felony theft.
For those wondering about that, possession of tools to interfere with the anti-theft device, that's typically found during shoplifting and they have these clippers on them or magnets on them or some type of device to avoid the security features throughout the stores. And they'll go in like the dressing rooms and clip off those security features with their tools. And so if they're in possession of those tools and involved in shoplifting or some type of theft, then they can be charged with interfering with a anti-theft device.
And then in our neighborhood and school zone traffic enforcement efforts, South Rutland Road, Golden Bear Gateway, Marketplace, Belinda Parkway, Old Pleasant Grove Road, Providence Parkway, Sterling Woods, and all of our school zones, 26 stops, 18 citations, and 0 arrests.
Good deal.
And on the Guardian Shield ALPR program, ticked away a few more numbers here this week. 81 stolen cars, 41 stolen plates, 3 stolen trailers, a missing juvenile, and 23 wanted persons.
Yeah, works well.
Yep, and that's what I got for you on stats this week, Cap.
Very cool. My update for this week is really the school traffic at Mount Juliet Middle School. We noticed the first couple of weeks of school, it was just backing up onto Mount Juliet Road. And Rich, you saw a lot of this, and parents like to arrive early before school dismissal and arrival, but there's no capacity at the school for them to park by the way the traffic plan was. So we started looking at ways to increase capacity on school property to keep that from backing up, basically parking on Woodridge Place, but also Charlie Daniels Parkway and Mount Juliet Road, which was really, when that was happening, causing a major traffic interruption. So we got with the schools. They were so grateful for us all to come together to work on a solution. And we came up with a solution. We worked on it this week for the first couple of days. And it took, basically initiating what's called a multi-lane queue in the bus parking lot to hold more cars. And that was effective, and it keeps cars off of Mount Juliet Road and out of the travel lanes of Charlie Daniels Parkway and Woodland Place. So super grateful for all the help from our crossing guards, school safety, the administration at Mount Juliet Middle, which is also West Wilson Middle, both 2 schools going to 1 school. And we made it work, and we've pulled ourselves out, and now we're letting crossing guard staff and school staff handle it, and all is going well. We'll continue to watch it and be sure that it's still flowing good. We helped them out with some cones for the multi-lane queue. We helped them cut down some bushes to ensure that there's plenty of good sight as students load and unload from their vehicles. And it was a success. And if you're going to pick up your child or drop off your child and you're sitting in the queue, and you're thinking, well, man, I'm sitting here waiting for a long time. Well, if you weren't waiting there, you would be waiting in the middle of Mount Juliet Road, blocking a lane of travel. And so we have to then think of all the other motoring public that need that roadway to be clear. And that's really was our goal, to pull off all the traffic, place that on school property, and then work on a orderly, safe arrival and dismissal. And we're glad it worked. But Rich, I saw the announcement. Wilson County Schools is closed all next week due to a surge in COVID-19 related illnesses. So there is no school next week. And for everyone who is sick, our prayers are with you. We hope you quickly recover from that, but school is closed next week. We continue to search for this person who ran from our officers on a traffic stop yesterday. You may have saw the alerts that went through via text on MJ Alert. We were searching for this adult male who ran from an officer on a traffic stop. The officer couldn't chase. He had to stay with the adult female passenger who was also wanted. But we eventually identified him. So our enhanced search of the area, we broke that down because we knew who he was. But we still continued to try to, apprehend him through our efforts. And he was spotted again today, walking on Mount Juliet Road, where he was taken into custody. He told us he hid in the woods overnight, and then he made his way and hid in someone's tractor overnight until he decided to come out and hopefully try to make it to the interstate to get out of Mount Juliet. But again, one of our officers spotted him and took him into custody. But that just goes into MJ Alert, because when we have people who run from us or are involved in crime that we're looking for, or any type of really major incident where we want to let our community know what's going on, we're going to go to MJ Alert and send out that text message to you. So I hope you get your friends on board. I hope you get your families on board MJ Alert. It's simple. You just text MJ to 67283 to register for these alerts. And it's like you're directly connected to us. as a community member, and you get the updates as the incident is unfolding, and we can send out a suspect description so you can begin to keep your eye open for this suspect. And if you see him, you call 911 and we find him and apprehend him, because it's so helpful when you're connected with us, because there are so many more citizens in our community than they are police officers, right? And at any given time, we only have so many police officers working, but we have so many community members out that way. And if we can engage our community, get them connected with us via these text alerts, it's super helpful to us. And it allows you, it engages you to help us keep our community safe. So we truly hope you get registered. Text MJ to 67283. Get your family on board, get your friends on board, your neighbors on board. Let them know about it. You think everyone watches social media. They don't, and they don't all get the message about this new program. And we just hope you can help us share the message so we can get more people on board with MJ Alert. We now have about 6,000 who are registered on the system, but there's 34,000 residents in Mount Juliet, and I'm pretty sure we can get more higher engagement on MJ Alert. I want to give a shout out to our IT department. These are the behind the scenes guy. They work for the city and City Hall, and they support all the different departments throughout the city, from parks to the fire department to public works to City Hall activities and the police department, and all our technology and software needs. But they also maintain our incident command post and respond and with that when we need it as a police department. They're also our drone unit team. So our IT members are pilots in the drone program, and they manage 2 drones that the city utilizes for different things, whether it's watching a house on fire to help the firefighters know where the hot spots are at, or helping us, like yesterday, search for a person who ran from our officers. They do that for us as well. So just want to give a shout out to all the guys up there. Travis Taylor, who's the IT director, has a great team with Thomas and Adam and River. Those 4 guys, they do amazing work, and we appreciate all that they do for all departments across the city. But really, they truly help us keep this community safe by responding with our mobile command post, but also piloting our drones that help us look for people who have escaped custody. Let me give a shout out again to Knox and Jordan Hastings. Jordan works for the fire department, and Knox is battling leukemia. They have a pancake breakfast coming up this Saturday, tomorrow at 8 a.m. at Charlie Daniels Park. And there is a fundraiser to help Knox through his medical bills and his battle with leukemia. So if you can, go out and support them tomorrow. Rich, I know you'll be there. I can't be because I'm leaving for a conference tomorrow, and I'll be gone throughout the week. But I'm giving you an envelope with my support for Knox that you're going to drop off for me. So I appreciate you doing that for me, and I'll get that to you this afternoon. But if you can, folks, get out there to enjoy breakfast, but also support one of our firefighters' sons who is battling leukemia. And we want to do whatever we can to support him. We appreciate Rehab 23 and sponsoring this and helping get this going, and also all the fire chiefs working to ensure that their firefighter is taken care of. So that's all I got. So folks, we love questions for these interactive updates. Type those in if you have any questions, and we will get to those. But as you type the question in, I want folks to also type in their registration to win a $25 gift card to O'Charlie's. That's the gift card today, 25 to O'Charlie's. And all you have to do is type in hashtag MJPD Live in the comments to register. If you are a resident of Wilson County or a county connected to Wilson County, you are eligible for this. So type in the comments right now, hashtag MJPD Live, just like you see it on the screen, no spaces before, in between, or after, and you may possibly get a gift card to O'Charlie. So it's just a fun way for us to have fun on these live broadcasts and for us to give something out. And we have gift cards to do so. One of those today is 25 to O'Charlie's. Rich, you are not eligible, so I don't want to see you sneaking in that.
I'll share it with somebody.
Okay, as long as you share it with somebody, I'm okay with that. But type that in, folks. But also, too, if you have a question, type that in too, and Rich and I will get to those questions as we roll through this live broadcast. Mr. Tidwell came from Chicago, Rich. It's your place, so he probably loves your W signs in the background for the Cubs.
Well, I saw him and I believe it was Todd over there in the comments making some comments about my win flag back there. Apparently, they're White Sox fans, so hey, that's okay. White Sox fans are cool too. But yeah, no, they're right. It's tough being a Cubs fan, but we're strong. We got to stick with it.
I understand. I get it. I'm not much into sports. I just can't keep track of it all, but I know you're very passionate about your Cubs.
Go Cubs.
Go Cubs. There you go.
There's a few of us floating around in here. Every now and again, you'll see one of them throw it in the comments.
Yeah. Is Corporal Ronan a Cubs fan?
He is.
Being from that way? Okay. I figured he
See,
would.
there's Danny, my boy Danny.
There you go.
Go Cubs.
Good deal. All right, folks, let's go for the drawing. If you have not already, quickly get in hashtag MJPD Live. We have about 31 entries, and we're drawing. Let's see who's going to win here. You know, Lewis Wade's always watching these broadcasts. He needs to win sometimes. Let's see it. Tyler Hicks is one that's always on the broadcast. So good deal, Tyler. We'll get you that gift card. If you would, just email me your address and we will mail it to you or drop it off. I'm going to type in my email right now in the comments so you have it. But good deal. Here's my email, Tyler. It's in the comments. Send me your address. I'll get it to you wherever you want it dropped off. All right. Thank you all for participating. Always fun to do these little raffle things and give away something to our community. So let's get to some questions. Rich, I saw a few popping in. Let me see if I can. It goes up today's.
Yeah, Dennis, you're right, man. Tough season for the Cubbies. They traded most of our 2016 players away. It was a tough one.
Gotcha. So Rachel's asking, she's missed a couple of these. Is there a set time for the live broadcast? I'm sure it's been covered, but so Rachel, we try to do these once a week, either on a Thursday or Friday, typically Thursdays, but recently, like yesterday, we had a suspect search going on. So Rich and I could not get to the live broadcast, but then we try to do it on a Friday. So usually in the afternoon, anytime between 1 and 5 o'clock, typically always around 3 o'clock. But the good thing is if it's not live, you can watch them in record mode. You just scroll through the Facebook or YouTube or Twitter to find the broadcast, and you can always play it again. A lot of people watch these after the fact, after it's not live, but that's the best I can tell you. We can't really get on a set schedule because in police work, our schedule is dependent on what's happening out in the community a lot of times, especially mine and Rich's schedule, because we provide a lot of the support to our guys who you say are on basically a normal schedule. Rich and I's schedules are not normal, but that's why it takes us away from some things. All right, let's see what we got here for questions. Mickey likes the MJ alerts via text. So good to hear that, Mickey. Great. Georgina's reaching out to you, Rich. She says that Sophie says hi.
What up, Sophie?
And Todd's wondering what's the charge for still flying a Cubs W flag. See, Lewis is like me. He doesn't get into sports either. I get it, Lewis. I just can't keep track and continue to watch sports teams, but a lot of people love it. So Dorothy asked the question, just curious why you decided to stop with the app and move to text. You like the app more because it gave specific location. So Dorothy, this is one of those situations where we just couldn't meet every aspect because there's not one platform that provides just every little thing that we would love to provide our community. But the texts were more reliable and our community wanted texts back. Overwhelming, I guess, inquiries about why we left text. And we really needed to go back to that. And just to give you some example about how we find more engagement with it, there's already more people registered for our text alerts now than that were registered for Atlas One. So we're already engaging more community members by getting the information out to them. We still give locations. It may not be a map, but you can always take that location we give and put it in one of your mapping apps on your phone to see exactly where it may be. We try to give landmarks. Like yesterday, we said Publix, Lebanon Road. Most people know where Publix on Lebanon Road is at. So that's why we work to get at least put the location in the alert so you could then look it up another way. But we simply just can't find a product that provides everything. Now, our system does provide an app. So if you don't want the text, you can use an app, and that is the Smart 911 app. So if you go to your app store on your phone, type in Smart 911 and download that app, and you can still get app-based alerts if you do not like the text. But the good thing with this, it provides alerts through all different platforms, from text to email to even phone calls, and app-based. And we use the phone calls during those serious emergencies where we have to ensure everyone gets the message. And phone numbers across the city are already loaded into the system, so we can call you and you'll receive a message from a computerized voice giving whatever alert that we need to give. Let's see what we got here. Regina asked, do we still use Atlas app? We do not. Everything is on MJ Alert now. Now, Rich, can you help me with this question?
The short side of Beckwith coming. Oh, she was asking earlier in the loop about if we're going to be getting a stoplight there at Beckwith Road and Golden Bear.
Gotcha. I don't think there's anything in the plans for it just yet, but eventually that may come. I did see a question, I can't find it right now, about the widening of Mount Juliet Road in front of Providence, and that is all in the works. Basically, Mount Juliet Road will be widened past Central Pike, which obviously it's going to take a couple of years before that will happen, but it is in the works, and it is coming with the new development of Providence Central that is coming in place in that area, where they have to increase the roadway infrastructure before they start occupying buildings. Shout out to Lieutenant Brockman, that St. Stephen's Catholic Church is thankful to have him, and Lieutenant Brockman. So cool. Awesome. I guess, and Corporal Ronan does security at St. Stephen's Church too. Him and Lieutenant Brockman keep that place very secure. Dennis just chiming in about the new lights on Beckwith coming off 40 are great. So good, Dennis. Glad you like those. We like them because it's nice and safe, but they also have roadway lighting attached to them, so that area is lit up a lot better, which is always safer for motoring public and also any pedestrians that are out that way. So good, all good questions.
Cap, someone asked further up in the loop about if we'll be doing weather alerts out through the text messaging.
So weather alerts out through the text messaging right now, not yet, simply because that is provided through the National Weather Service, where they automatically send that to our phone. Your phones may go off like they do, but there is a option we can turn on that automatically does it. We're still kind of debating on turning that option on at this moment, not yet. We just kind of want to see what it does and see if the weather alerts are reliable enough for that. Cool. I think we got most of them, don't you think?
I believe so.
Awesome. Well, folks, we don't see any other questions. Thank you all for joining the live broadcast. Tyler Hicks, make sure you send me your address so I can get that gift card to you. Thank you all for joining. We definitely need to cover the weather real quick, right, Rich? You almost made it the weather. Because we do have a hurricane forming in the Gulf that may send us some rainy weather into the weekend, and I think Rich wants to go over that a little bit.
Yeah, so just quickly for the next 7 days, we're looking not terrible until we get out into early next week for the chances of rain increasing through there. And you'll see, Monday and into Tuesday, they're going to get a little uglier with some rain chances and potential for severe storms. And that's all part of Hurricane Ida, as you'll see here on the track. Currently at 2 p.m. today, it was just south of Cuba. And coming through the weekend, it's going to be creeping up through down through Louisiana and coming up our way. They're predicting on through Sunday, it's going to be a major hurricane as it's coming on shore in Louisiana. Mm-hmm. So hopefully you're going to be sending some prayers down that way for those folks, and they're not going to have any major problems. But Potentially Tuesday and Wednesday, it'll start affecting our weather. So that's when we'll be seeing those rain bands coming through our area, causing that rain. So really, potentially Monday night into Tuesday is when we'll start catching that rain from Hurricane Ida.
Gotcha. All right. And heavy rain Tuesday. Yeah. So just stay monitoring this, folks. That's one way we want you to connect with us on MJ Alerts is it allows us to send you a message directly, right, about anything that is happening in our community. And we can quickly get that message to you. And if we know you're connected via text, we don't have to worry about you seeing it on social media because social media has analytics, doesn't always show you the message we want to get you. But we know if you're signed up with our text alerts, you're going to get that text message and you're going to know exactly what we're wanting to try to let you know as long as that phone is working. So please sign up for MJ Alerts, get your family too, because we just want you to stay safe. Because if we do have anything happening in our community, we're going to let you know so you stay aware of what is going on. And Rich, I got a question that I want to get to about explain how Smart 911 app helps you reduce response time to the home in an emergency. I know you could probably expand on this a little bit, but basically, Adam, is when people call 911 these days, it's by a cell phone. And the cell phone puts off a GPS if someone can't really tell us where they're at. But if your cell phone is registered on Smart 911 with an address and that cell phone pings near your address, we know exactly what address to go to when. If we did not have it registered, we don't always know exactly where we're going when someone calls 911. And Rich, can you expand on the Smart 911 a bit?
Indeed, yeah. And Captain, you summed it up very, very well. So the I won't get into too much of the techie stuff, but basically, yeah, if you call 911 on your cell phone, we can ping within a certain distance of where you called from, depending on how new your phone is. So if you've got a newer phone, it gets a little more accurate. If you have an older phone, it's a little less accurate. But with the Smart 911 system, you go in there and you register on their app. You can put in as little or as much information as you'd like. But at the very minimum, if you put your name, your address, your of course your cell phone number, you know that way we can tell if your cell phone pings within 400 or 500 feet of that house, we know the first place we're going to go is check that address, make sure everything is okay there, and then of course you also have the option to put in other details if you'd like, such as medical conditions of you or anybody in your family, if you have small children in the house, pets in the house. So if there's ever a fire there and you call 911, then the fire department will know to look for pets. Any potential hazards in the house, like, for example, let's say you're a photographer as a hobby and you've got chemicals in your house for your photography hobby. You can put stuff like that in there and things of that nature. It's a really robust program, and you can put in there as much or as little information as you feel comfortable. And the dispatchers only have access to that information when you call 911. They can't just randomly log in and look people up or anything like that. It's only available when you dial 911 calling for help.
Yeah, good stuff, Rich. And good to hear. Good to hear. All right, just making sure I grab everything there. All right, good deal. Any parting words, Rich?
Oh, just y'all, with as hot as it's going to be this weekend and going into next week, stay hydrated and stay safe. Take care of yourself and your neighbors. If you know any elderly folks, check on them. Any folks with any special needs, check on them. Take care of folks. And come see me tomorrow. I'll be out tomorrow at the pancake breakfast with the truck. So come by and see me and say hi.
Yeah, absolutely. And the sign behind me, we rise by lifting others. Always have that posted just to remind me that to be kind to people, right? And I just want to remind you, be kind to people. We see so much negativity out there, whether it's a disagreement over mask restrictions or the COVID vaccine or something on social media, on Facebook. I see a lot of disinformation and misinformation that people comment about our officers, right? And really, it's got to be kind, be truthful out there. Treat others with respect. When you're out there, folks, you never know what type of day someone's going through. So just be mindful of that, and just know that, hey, if we lift others up, if we lift our community up, it is just better for everyone. So always, 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 please be kind out there. And as always, it's my honor to always serve you, and it's a privilege to serve our wonderful community. Mount Juliet's great. I love it. I lived here for the most of my life, and I think, Rich, you're about there too. And we really appreciate everyone out there who supports this police department and supports our officers. They're not perfect by any means. There is always room for improvement with everything and everyone. And if you do ever have any feedback, please get that to us so we can always try to do better. and how we serve. But have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Be mindful. Be weather aware towards the end of the weekend into Monday, because we will have some type of tropical system over us, and not sure what that will do. We don't know just yet. Kind of early, but just continue to watch out on the weather. Have a good weekend, folks. See you soon. Yeah, I'm clicking the wrong button again, Rich. Here we go. I got to hit end video. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right. See you, everyone.